Just because I love you, it don't mean I trust you. Everybody not to be trusted. Everybody around me thugging. Everybody around me drugging. Everybody around me hustling. Everybody know not to bring no new riggin' around me. They say I be bugging. Got racks in the go-yard luggage. Just cause I love you, it don't mean I trust you. Everybody not to be trusted.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. I am your host, Quentin Flores, and this is another episode of Uncut with Q. And so for everybody that's listening, you already know the drill. If you get value from this show, we believe in word of mouth marketing, so share the shit out of this show. If it changes your perspective on something or challenges your thinking to some category, I think that the world operates better on a sense of value exchange. So share the show if you get value from it, please. Okay? If you don't, then don't fucking share it. With that being said, we're here and we're ready to run this thing up, guys. And if this is your first time listening, we have multiple different types of shows. I recommend that y'all listen to the last 5 because each one is a little bit different. We got real talk, we got Q&A, we got surfing the web, we got special guests. You know what I'm saying? We bring people on here that have done things in their lives. And so, guys, again, all I ask is that you share this thing. We really don't get a lot of love online, and we're not fucking throwing this thing out there. And like YouTube, we could use some more love on YouTube. If you go to YouTube and you comment on this video and you drop your questions, we'll answer them live on the channel too. So don't forget, we're on YouTube, okay? A lot of you guys listen on just the audio. That's fine. I know what it's like to be way too busy to just sit down and watch a video. And dude, I mean, I pump weights while I'm listening to fucking podcasts all the time. So you're not alone in this world, all right? So with that being said, man, today I have a wonderful guest that came in here. Go on and introduce yourself to the world.
What's going on, Q? Thank you for having me. My name is Sanchez. Man, it feels good. Thank you for having me again.
Welcome.
It's just awesome, and hope to give you guys a little piece and it hopefully inspire somebody out there.
I think that's exactly what we're going to do.
Yeah.
There is no hope in this building.
Let's do it. We're going to do.
So guys, you know, Carly's awesome. She reached out to me on Instagram. Some of y'all are watching this right now. You've reached out to me too. My goal is to get as many guests on this podcast as possible, and I got to fill the calendar. So if you're also listening to this, you want an opportunity to get on this podcast, DM me. I'll vet you in the DMs and see if we're a good fit for me having you on this podcast. So man, Carly, dude, go ahead and let me know a little bit about, so you said you're a realtor, right?
Yeah, I'm a realtor. Just became one in March 27th.
Congratulations.
Was my official day, I guess, as a realtor, and I'm super excited, man. It's hopefully going to be the next life-changing thing that I've gotten myself into.
You mentioned that you burned the bridge on a job to do this, right?
Yep.
To do the real estate game?
Definitely did.
What was that job paying you?
So that job, I was making over $100,000, and yeah, it was something that I was doing for 5 years.
Let's be real, Carly. That's comfortable.
That's very comfortable.
That is. I mean, that's a good living, dude.
Yeah, it was.
How was the decision? What was the moment of, you're like, fuck this job?
It came to me. Dude, no, I mean, seriously, it came to me when I was no longer feeling fulfilled in myself or what I was doing. Don't get me wrong, what I was doing was helping people. I mean, helping people buy cars. I was a car salesperson, but I meant for bigger and better things. I know I am. And in that job, I've come from a not broken family, but money-wise, yeah, we were pretty broke, it was rough, electricity going out, water going out. Thankfully, we had a really cool neighbor that would let us borrow electricity, ask me how that works. We would run an extension wire from their house to our house. It was rowdy, and
I grew up like that too.
Yeah, it's hard, dude, and seeing the people that you love struggle that much is heart-wrenching. And all I wanted to do was figure out how I could never live that way again. So that brought me to figuring out life. Man, I was going to school. I was trying to figure it all out. I was a manager at Chipotle for a couple years. Then I decided to go to school again to be a firefighter. I actually got through the whole course. I was a lieutenant. They made me a lieutenant. I was the only female on the team and everything. It was great. I had a job offer on one of the city bases here in San Antonio. I turned that down, and because don't get me wrong, that's a way that I wanted to help people, was by being a firefighter. And I'm not the smallest female, guys. I'm kind of big. So
you definitely could be like under the basketball court catching them rebounds.
Yeah,
you know?
no, definitely. So I decided that wasn't the way I wanted to go. And I was still trying to find a way to make the most money to help out my family. So I ended up working 3 jobs at a time. I was, you know, I never shared this, and it's hard to share it because it's kind of like, I don't know. I don't want to say I was embarrassed, but I did what it took. And dude, I was a valet. I was a bell person. I was taking people's luggages to their room. And as a female, you know, you don't really see that. And dude, I was willing to do whatever it took to help my family. So I was working 2 jobs. I was working downtown at 2 different hotels. So I would run from one hotel and then run to the next hotel. And I was working, and then I also worked for VIA, and I drove around people with disabilities from 4 a.m. to about 9 a.m. in the morning. And I was doing that. Dude, it was exhausting. Then I would go to the hotel, literally run around. I would get at least 10,000 steps within that job because I was going up and down the hotel, running across the parking lot, getting a car, getting another car. And then I would walk to my other job and do the same exact thing again.
Damn.
And so there was one night when I figured out hourly wasn't going to do it for me anymore. You can't reach financial freedom by being in an hourly job. To me, that was my point of view. So one night, it was probably about 11 o'clock at the hotel, quiet, nobody's around. I'm on the computer, and I'm looking, what can I do with the work ethic that I have and not have a cap? So I was like, sales. I don't know jack about sales. So I came across a sales position, a car sales position on Indeed, and I was like, you know what? You have no right. You're all like, I can do this. Like put in your freaking application, and then they called me, and I was like, oh shit. They called me like a couple days later, and I was like, man, I don't know if I can do this. I spoke to one of the ladies that worked in the front. She was like, I was like, man, Miss Nika, I don't know if I can go. I'm nervous. I know nothing about sales, and especially about cars. They're not gonna hire me. She was like, you go and you're going to do amazing. So man, I go, I don't have nice clothes like that. I go to Kohl's, I drop $300 on a nice sports coat. And to me, that's like almost all the money in my bank account, right? But I was willing to look sharp for that interview. And I was like, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it 100%. So I go, man, I walk in the door, and it's a room almost as big as this room, filled with 30 men. And I just see one female, and I'm like, God, I was like, wow, like, I'm probably not going to get this job. And I'm doubting myself, and I think that's what a lot of people do, but I was still there. And I wasn't going to give up. So, dude, one by one, they're calling these guys. And so finally it gets to me, and again, I'm one of the last ones. And they're asking me questions, and they asked me about my why. And the why was because of my family. And I think once they knew how much motivation and passion that I had, they hired me. They hired me and that one other girl. She only lasted about a month or 2. But no, I did great. I actually, I had 3 months of training. The first month that I was on the sales floor, I was like number 3 or number 2 top salespersons.
And this is like what, selling cars?
Selling cars. I was selling Buick and GMC.
Wow.
But I knew the passion and all the knowledge that I had. I was just killing it. My second year, I was number 1 top salesperson of the dealership. And ever since then, I was just crushing it. I had my goals. I had my dream board. I didn't even know what a dream board was, but I'll call it my journal page of my dreams. I wanted to help my family.
Things that you wanted to do.
Yeah, I wanted to buy a house, pay off my Mustang that I had, and because I was working 3 jobs, I thought I deserved something, so I bought myself a Mustang, whatever. And maybe not the smartest financial decision.
It's you know what, I think everybody in life has what they have what I would call an emotional buy.
Yeah.
An emotional buy is something that you've always wanted that validates the status of that life point.
Right.
So like every level of income requires a new emotional emotional buy.
Right.
You know, I got to a point where I made $1 million and then I bought my dream car cash. I bought my Corvette C8
Nice.
and then I decked it the fuck out. I put
I saw
60
that,
grand into
dude.
my Corvette.
That's beautiful.
No one has a car like mine in San Antonio. Then I went even further. I've always wanted a race truck so I could race Baja in Mexico one day. So
snap.
I bought a Raptor and I decked it out, put almost 30 grand into it. Raptor blew up, bought a TRX right after that too.
Yeah.
And so, you know, with that being said, that like these things all happened at different incomes in my life. And I told myself I wasn't going to buy a boat until I hit 10 million in sales. I did 13 million last year. And with that amount of money, I went and I bought,
man.
thank you so much. I went and I bought a boat for my family.
Wow.
So I have a big ass boat. It's about
That's great.
17 and a half feet long. I use it for going on the lake. And,
Nice.
you know, I take my whole fam with me. We go fishing. I provide for my family by
That's
hunting for
amazing.
them too. Went even further than that. And I bought 300 acres, South Texas,
Oh,
for my
wow.
family with a cabin on it, with deer feeders, with everything that we need. And I take my family hunting there every year now.
Dang.
And so like there's levels to income. And I
Right,
don't
right.
believe that somebody should just say that it's a bad financial decision if it gives you the morale boost that you
Right.
needed to validate yourself. And so like validation isn't something that you seek externally. It's something that we seek internally. We say, I grew up like this and I never had this. So I have to prove to myself
Right.
that even though life gave me what it gave me, that I am still capable of having the same things that other people that were more fortunate than me
Right.
were capable of having. And that is a crazy thing. Now, if you're doing it externally, that's sacrilegious as fuck. You're considered a Pharisee at this point because now you're trying to buy things to impress other people.
Right,
The same
yeah.
way that the Pharisees stood at the front of the church and they said, while Jesus was over here looking like he was homeless, they said, look how much God loves me. Look at all of my jewelry and all of my chains. I'm here every single morning. I worship God stronger than everybody here. God blesses me with all of this money and all of this wealth. That's not what Jesus wanted.
definitely
Jesus said this. He said that there's more to religion and God than what God gives you. And it's a relationship because that's the most powerful thing that you can have with the Lord. And so it was like, somebody came in and disrupted the value of things, but I think that every single person should have like an external
Right.
validated point of entry when it comes to buying something for yourself that you've always wanted.
Yeah, it makes you feel accomplished and like you're actually getting somewhere. And
So you deserve that.
Yeah,
I think that
no,
you went through
I-
so much in your life to be able to say, man, like this is something that I've always wanted to do, you know? So I wouldn't put the negative connotation on it by
Right. calling
calling it a bad decision. I would say that this was something that I needed to validate how far I've came in my journey.
no, absolutely. I think that's really true. And it was one of those things, it was like a stepping stone for me too, because I was just like, okay, that's another thing that I can do. And it was like,
Now it's real.
Yeah, now it was real. And my next step was to pay it off. So that gave me more motivation to work hard. And so I guess all said and done, man, and did great in that aspect. Did my time in the car business. And for those guys in the car business, you know, you dedicate your life, you're missing birthday parties, you're at the dealership about 80%, 85%, if not more, because you're working, but the money can be addicting. But it was time for me to go and grow. And
You made that decision.
yeah, I made that decision. And financially, I was like, okay, do I have money I have to make sure, you know, I still got a house, I still got my cars, I still have my family, I take care of my father, and I got to make sure that I'm not making a silly decision. And it's 1 to 100. So financially, everything was okay. I had a plan, and yeah, it was 1 to 100. As soon as I got my real estate license, man, I just ran with it and put 110%, and I'm still trying to do it, and I'm still trying to figure out market and going to these conferences and trying to learn from other people and trying to surround myself like I am now with people like you, because you're the type of people that help us grow, the people that are kind of like seeking and finding a way. You know, it's great to be here, and I'm very passionate and motivated.
I appreciate that
for
so
sure.
much. You know, I'm very picky on who I was wanting to be on the show. And I went and I saw your account. I went through everything that you've been able to accomplish and whatnot. And
Thank you.
seeing the inside story of all of this and
Yeah.
how you came to here, you know, I think that God leads you to crazy places, you know?
Right.
And bro, like everything in your life is always going to try to run away from you.
Right.
Everything, right? And so rather than chasing, it's best to attract. And when you focus on that internal internal change and that shift that you need to make, you become a magnet for opportunities. So it's like shit starts to flow like to you because of the person that you decided to become.
Right.
And it's
Definitely.
a beautiful thing. It is a
For
beautiful
sure.
thing. And you don't even recognize the fruits of the labor because those roots get planted so deep, you know? There's this story that I like. It's from this speaker named Les Brown. And I love this guy. He's one of the best speakers of all time. And he says that there's this tree that grows in the Far East side called the Chinese bamboo tree. And so this is science, which is crazy, right? But for a bamboo tree to sprout and hit the ground, it has to be watered for 5 years. For 5 years, it lays dormant under the ground. And so after 5 years of watering this plant that doesn't sprout, doesn't grow out of the floor, doesn't do anything. I mean, could you imagine? That's how it is with our dreams, right?
Yeah, no, for
Could you
sure.
imagine watering some shit that's not growing and
I
then the
know,
entire
no
fucking
progress.
village coming through? Like, what are you watering, bro?
Yeah.
And you telling them like a Chinese bamboo tree, right? And they're like, well, dude, I think fucking Ray Charles can see that there's no bamboo tree that's growing out of that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? How long are you watering your dream?
Yep.
And so, like, think about this. Now, this is what's crazy, Carly. On the 5th year, within 2 weeks, it breaks ground and shoots 20 feet into the sky.
Holy.
And so you got to
Wow.
ask yourself, right?
Yep.
Did it grow in 2 weeks or did it grow in 5 years? No one notices the work.
Right.
They only see the 2 weeks.
I like that.
And so what you got right now is you're breaking the ground.
Right.
You've been watering this dream of what you've been wanting for yourself and your life and your family and your loved ones and the people that you care about. And now it's breaking through the ground. And so I think that within the next 12 months, you're going to see a massive growth spurt with your career and the things that you have going on, because you've already done so many things for yourself, things that you probably didn't even know you were fully capable of, but you were
Right.
operating on faith, you know?
Definitely.
But to do the double job thing and then going into the sales world and then killing it in sales, you know, and now you're in real estate. Have you already closed your first property yet?
Unfortunately, I haven't. No, I'm just kidding. I totally have. Yes.
Well, let's go.
Dude, I've thankfully I've closed 3 deals, and
Wow.
this month I have another 3 that I'm closing.
Are these investment deals or listings?
These are listings, no investor type deals. I'm actually to be frank, I don't know a lot still, right? I have a lot to learn, like the wholesaling. I'm kind of like, I have no idea. But what I do know is just helping people who are looking to sell their homes or looking to buy homes. So
Wow.
that's what I've been doing. I've closed 3. I got another 3 closings, and I have a $2 million condo. It's a new construction condo. It's downtown.
Wow.
And I got a call, and I thought it was a joke. I'm not going to lie. It's she's an investor, and she was like, she's a tiny little Chinese lady, the cutest lady in the world. And she calls me with her accent, and I'm like, is somebody joking with me? Is this real? And she sent me the address, and I looked it up, and on the MLS, it's like nothing real, not a lot of information, but I went, met her. She called me back about 2 hours after I left. She was like, I want you to list my property. So I have that under my belt, and I have another 3. I just sold one of my listings. It was on the market for 4 days, and I got $15,000 over asking for my client.
Let's go.
Dude, it was awesome. So I have a lot working, and I just got to keep that momentum going, got to keep that grind, keep that knowledge, and and keep it going. Yeah, keep pumping.
Well, look, Carly, I don't normally do this, and I think that this is kind of on the spot. And to be honest, with everything that you've been telling me, I am crazy impressed. And so,
Thank
you know,
you.
you say that you're seeking knowledge. You say
Yeah.
that you're seeking opportunity and that you're wanting to learn and you want to grow. Have you gotten this far by yourself or with other people?
So I do have a team. Everything that I've gotten, I've gotten a lead or 2 from my team lead, but everything else has been by myself, word of mouth, referral, posting on my social media, my good friends and family that know my work ethic, know me personally, and just on social media. I think they see the good in me. So yes, majority is coming from me and my good social network.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I would love if you join my company. We get probably maybe
Wow.
50 to 100 plus retail leads every single month.
Oh,
And we don't have
wow.
realtor power to handle all of them.
Oh,
And I
snap.
think that it would be right in with what you're already doing.
Right.
And on top of that, I'll teach you investment real estate. And I've never offered somebody a job on a podcast, just FYI.
Wow.
But yeah, you could spend the time frame with me. I'll help you
Wow.
out too with some content in these videos.
Wow.
And it's all incentivized so that you can come here and grind with us.
Dude.
But I'll show you so many amazing things. Included with all of this is free entry to all of my events where we teach real estate
Holy crap.
investing.
Dude, thank you. Like,
I'm not
see?
expecting you to make
Dude, I know. I'm like, no.
a decision on a live thing, you know, because this is crazy. But you know, I
How can
get
turn that down? That's crazy.
I get very good vibes with people, you know, and I've worked very well with people throughout the years. Most people that come and join my companies go off and start their own businesses within 2 years of being with me. And I'm completely fine with it. I'm totally abundant. Like,
Wow.
if you're going to start a business with me, you're entering into my, like, the competition of a game that I've been playing for a decade now. And so, you know, you skip the learning curve on so many things. You will learn what has taken me 10 years to master in less than 1 year of being on our team. We teach everything from subject to real estate investing, creative finance, lease options, wraparounds. I've done every type of deal under the sun, from land acquisition. We've done oil syndication. We've done commercial, industrial, multifamily.
Wow.
And so, you know, I just got done flipping
Dude, that's
a
insane.
300-acre lot out in Houston, in the outskirts. And so, you know,
Wow.
we have a lot of different things going on in the office, and it is a great opportunity for you to learn not just the retail side, but also the investment side. And you can operate
Definitely.
your realtor business outside, like within my company.
Yeah.
And so it's an add-on. But,
Dude,
you know,
what?
I know this sounds crazy,
No,
and we're
that
just
was-
talking about it right now.
That's so freaking
But you seem like the
awesome.
type of person that I would
appreciate
want to
that.
work with, just based on what you've been able to tell me on this podcast.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. That's amazing. I would definitely
We'll talk
think
about it
but no.
after
Yeah,
this,
no.
because I know this is a lot.
No, that's amazing. I'm like, thank you, dude. Like, and this is a part, right, where like you get to meet people, you get out of your comfort zone, and then randomly, you know, I was not expecting that. So, man, dude, I can't wait. We'll definitely talk after this.
I think that's a God divine interconnection. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And things happen for a reason. You know what I mean?
I always say that.
So, dude, Carly, with where you're going with your license, what is the outcome that you're wanting? Like, what is the decision making? Like, why did you decide to pursue real estate versus what you were doing in cars?
That's a very good question. To be honest, I wanted my time back, and honestly, I say my time back, but I work just as hard as I did, and I work as many hours as I did when I was selling cars. But at least I can like my partner and honey, I can like hang out with her. She can come by, and you know, we get to see each other a little bit more often. But also with my family, dude, I have not had a 4th of July off. I didn't even. It's just those times, those birthdays that I can now go to, because not only are you there for your birthday, but man, you can also market there as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're like, because they ask you, what do you do now? And it's just like a form of like, I can be with my family now, but I can also support my own, you know, my business and get my name out there. So it's kind of the best of both worlds in real estate. And now I just need to master it, and you know, with the right hands.
It takes time, you know,
No,
but
absolutely.
it also, like, you know, where I had failed to, Carly, and I'll be very vulnerable with you. I'm always vulnerable.
No, for
as
sure. I
fuck on my
appreciate it.
show.
I'm surprised I haven't cried yet. I'm not gonna lie.
When I first got into the business, I didn't seek mentorship. I didn't seek a coach, any of that. I was like anti that. You know, I had this stigma. Well, I don't know. I didn't want somebody waving me around on stage saying that I was that they were the reason that I was successful. Because I know what I've done, I know what I've gone through, and I know where I've been to get
Right.
to this point in my life. And so, like, I wanted to solidify that I could do it without someone. But I also realized that was something that was not, it was counterproductive. It's okay to have a coach. Like, it's okay to ask for help too. And that's something that I want to share with all of you guys that are listening right now. You know, it could be the difference between you making $1 million and making $0 in the next 12 months. I have students that have paid me money for me to teach them. And I charge between $5 and $25,000 to coach somebody.
Yeah.
And it's one-on-one. So you get me intimately. I do this very, very seldomly. If you guys are interested in coaching, go to awbootcamp.com and fill out an application. Let's see if we can work something out. But with some of the people that I've been able to mentor, I just had a guy that came on here before you, 24 years old. His name's Sam Hopkins. He's been coaching with me and my partner Aaron for 2 years. And he's made $2.6 million this year.
Wow.
A 24-year-old kid who had never done really anything crazy other than being a basketball player in college.
Wow.
And he thinks he can live more than me, but he can't. If you're watching this, Sam, I love you, bro.
I'll put some money on that.
I do strength training, but so does Sam, and he's a really cool kid.
Oh gosh, yeah, I gotta see him then.
But he's a good friend of mine, you know, and I was just blown
That's
away
cool.
that this 24-year-old kid was able to do that, you know?
That's amazing, man.
That's just one instance. I have a guy named Ryan Wilkerson just hit $7 million in 6 months with our coaching. And so, like, these guys have no problem saying, like, dude, Q and Aaron helped me out so much. These guys were so amazing, so humble, so, like, loving. Because my first introduction to coaches and mentors were people that were running seminars, and, like, it was not productive. Like, these guys would wave you around on stage and would, like, say that they did everything for you to sell their education. You know, with the way that we do it, we give them so much value. I don't ever even ask for that. They do that on their own without me having to say it.
Right.
I invested into a mentor in 2020. I spent 25 grand on a mentor. My first time ever doing it. I went out to El Paso. It changed my life. Changed the way I love my wife, changed the way that I love my son, changed everything. Like, I truthfully believe the amount of growth that I've had career-wise and spiritually-wise and physically, because when I first met Preston, I was 416 pounds.
Wow.
And I'm 268 right now.
Dang,
And the lowest I've been at was like 237.
Dude.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Wow.
I like to eat a lot and I like to lift a lot, you know.
Shoot.
I do both, but I eat like my macros, but it's crazy, man, you know. And I tell Preston, like I always tell everybody, Preston Brown was the man who changed my life.
Wow.
And I love that dude to death, brother. I owe him my life. Like, I really do. And he's done so many things for me, not just on like a business level, but on every other level. Like, I've just never been so in love with what I have going on now. And he's taught me compassion that I've never had before. And so, you know, I think that when you have the right mentor, it's okay. And the fact that you're seeking help and seeking coaches and even seeking people out, messaging me and saying, hey, Q, I want to be on your podcast, bro. This takes balls, dude.
Yeah.
And if there's one thing I like about women, balls. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
The bigger the better.
I'm just saying. That's crazy.
Dude,
I'm kidding, y'all. But yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. But
No, for sure.
I think that you're going in the right direction, you know. But what do you want in like 5 years of doing real estate? What does the outcome look like? Let's paint that vision.
Okay. Painting the vision is having my own team, right? And that can be within the team I am in, just having people that I can tutor, mentor, coach to get just as great as I am going to be in the next 5 years and better their lives, better them financially, mentally, physically, and emotionally, because it's possible. People that live in today's world, it's hard, dude, right? Life is freaking hard. And I just want people to feel like they have somebody who actually cares about them and wants to help better them. But that's on them. That's going to be on them, right? We can't force anybody to do anything. But at least I love God. I actually have a cross right here.
Wow, beautiful.
I don't show that to everybody, so
it's okay.
relax.
She has a literal cross on her chest, right in the middle.
Right in the middle. And that was because I've been through a lot, not only what I've shared, but, you know, there's a little bit more to it. I was at a point where I was constantly drinking and I felt like I was alone. And the struggles that I went through and the suicide thoughts and all that stuff, I just felt like I was alone. But one day I realized that I was not alone, that this man right here, Jesus Christ and God,
amen,
they're always there. They're always there. And it was my fault for ignoring them, for not going to him when I needed him. And it was at a point in time, at a very low part in my life, that I turned to him. And man, I wanted to, it looks dope, but it was just my way of like, I don't know, just like giving myself back to him, showing him the love that I have and the appreciation for allowing me to get this far in life and showing me the road that he already had paid for me once I saw past all the BS. So yeah, and just mentoring, growing financially, never having to struggle again. being able to take out my beautiful family to a really nice vacation whenever we want, right? Because the world is ours if we work for it. So I believe that I can fulfill all of my dreams and help people along the way and serve them the way Jesus served others. So,
Man.
yeah.
You know, guys, the kingdom of heaven is inside you and all around you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's what's beautiful, man, because when you embody that feeling and you live vicariously through your faith, it's only going to shortcut it's only going to shortcut the distance between where you're at right now and where you want to go.
Yeah.
When you're faith driven, when you got Godfidence, bro, like that's when shit just starts popping off
For
and you're just
real.
like, what the fuck, man? I am tremendously blessed, but it's because you are a blessing
Right.
that you are blessed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, dude, Carly, this has been such a great show. I really appreciate you hopping on here, man.
Of
I'm going to wrap
course.
this thing up. Where can
right.
people find you on social media?
They can find me on Instagram, San Antonio's Realtor. That is my San Antonio's Realtor. And then Facebook, you can find me, Carly Sanchez, Realtor, on there. So I have my business page and my personal page. So go follow me, guys. I always get questions. How do I do it? How I'm doing so well? Guys, just do what successful people are already doing. Learn from what they're doing and create it and make it your own. That's how you will succeed.
I love it,
Yeah.
guys. I'll catch y'all on the next episode. See y'all.